I'm trying to rethink the learner experience because a lot has happened in 20 and 30 years. And because tech is a typesetting program, and because books are books, the original route into learning tech and LaTeX was to get a book, a physical book that you held in your hand and everything. And then you get a PDF. And I actually think our online offerings are perhaps a bit weak and not thought out. And then there's watching a video. And the top video, when you search for Learn LaTeX, is Michel Crummel's LaTeX tutorial that was created 9 years ago and has had 2.1 million views. I don't know how many people got to the end, but that's a pretty large number. And going down a bit, she's updated her material, and she's second in the list. And then 9 years ago, Learn LaTeX in 5 minutes, which is ambitious. And it's a 6-minute video, and it's had 1.3 million views. So if you stumble along this video and you're a video watcher, and it's only 6 minutes and it looks as though it's interesting, you'll get a lot of views. Then there's a LaTeX tutorial from 2 years ago with 500,000 views. And that's the first one that's got sort of traditional tech LaTeX branding. That's the LaTeX Hummingbird. And then we've got another one that's 10 minutes long. It's got the traditional input on the left, output on the right. And there are more and more. This one's from Share LaTeX, which is now subsumed into Overleaf. How to write an IEEE research paper, 250,000. Some beginners tutorials. Another presentation from Michel Crummel on Beamer, and that's had 250,000 views. Something more from, this is from a year ago, and it's got 0.2 million views, and so on all the way down. And after a bit, the numbers get a lot smaller. So now we're down to 1/10,000,000. And then we've got something about, well, I don't know, but I think we're dressed in an interesting way.
That's one of the inadmissible pronunciations of LaTeX as far as Leslie Lamport is concerned.
Well, yeah. And now we've got some advocacy pages for LaTeX, and we're down to 50 to 60,000 views. So going back to the top, we see that there is people watch these things. People find these things and watch these things, and it's something that should be part of our repertoire, if you like. Sorry.
I'm curious what TechMaker is and which platforms it runs on.
Okay. The next thing I said was the LaTeX workshop from James Zhu, and that's, I'll just make it a bit bigger for you. Again, I'm looking at the numbers. It's got 1.3 million downloads. And it works in Visual Studio Code, which is an open source Microsoft product that's widely used by the visually impaired programming community. And one of the great advantages this LaTeX Workshop extension has is that it is an extension of tools that all people are already using. So they already know how to use half the tool. The bit they don't know is the LaTeX part. And it's got a table of contents, and it's got lots of screenshots. It tells you how everything works, if you can see it. It describes all the features. And I think that if we look at it, we'll find that it's hosted on GitHub and that it's quite good at, what's the word? Dealing with issues. So there's that. The next thing, again, make it bigger. Come on. Somewhat coincidentally, it's this is how to use MathJax for the MathJax Stack Exchange page. Suddenly topical because a company I hadn't heard of and other people hadn't heard of either has bought Stack Exchange, and buying it, I think, because it has some sort of synergy with the with other purposes. So it's a bit like Microsoft buying LinkedIn. They're buying it because they want LinkedIn, because they want the audience, or they want something else like that. Sorry, this isn't behaving. It's still refusing the Zoom. I'll come back to this one. So this is the tech user conference last year, and I thought I'd give us some comparison points for numbers. So I'm going to go to the keynote if you're interested. And we had one from John McFarland. And this is sort of technical specialist talk. And it had 1,500 views. 1,500 views every year. So maybe over 10 years it will get to 10,000, 15,000 views, which isn't bad. Is my audio okay now?
Now it is.
Okay. I
Yes.
think it was maybe my computer was overworked. So here, this is the Rotonoto, which is a font family, and that's got 700 views. So not the millions that the tutorials are getting. And again, for comparison, there was a LaTeX workshop last year at the conference. Here it says it had 441 views, but that's not right. Because if we look at the first of the videos in the workshop, okay, this one's had 235 views. So, well, short of the million that we used to have, I think. And if we can go back to the LaTeX Visual Studio, or the MathJax tutorial. Okay. Here it started 9 years ago, and it's had 1.2 million views. And it's all about how to use mathematics on mathematics, not stack exchange. And it's got the 30 stuff. So,
Jonathan, it seems when you're just playing video, I can't understand your audio at all.
Okay. I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing. So let me share a few comments, which is I was impressed by the number of views that these pages were getting and the way in which they were focused on what people were wanting to do. So they have definite goals and objectives. And they're a longer way away from the general pay-based basis. It wasn't something written as if it was for print, but put up as a web page. It was video written as video, or recorded as video, or web page created as web page. And I think that's a lot more. And something I haven't investigated is these people don't have a strong connection with our community, and we don't have a strong connection with them. The conferences, the tech conferences, are maybe mainly for developers, not for users. So I'm going to try and stop at that point.